the Plan B pill. A judge ordered that the morning after pill, which is known as Plan B, should be available without prescription for anyone of any age within 30 days. Now, normally, it has to be taken within 72 hours of unprotected sex. There's been all kinds of court cases about this. I think basically this is pretty good because women and girls don't want to do this. This is an emergency situation. And of course, the right wing is going to make it seem like, oh, everyone's going to have these Plan B parties and they're going to be snorting it.
We're popping those pills.
Popping those pills like crazy. What do you think? I mean, do you think that this is just a good thing and we shouldn't even be thinking about it?
I think that it's a great thing because, you know, look, teenagers have sex and everyone likes to neglect it except for liberals. Of course, we talk about it and we say we need to make sure that they have the comprehensive sex education. We have to make sure they have access to contraceptives. That makes all the sense in the world. I was really, really blown away by the Obama administration last year when they had made the decision that even though the FDA has said that it's not a health risk, we're going to make sure that anyone under the age of 17 still needs a prescription to get their hands on it. How the hell does like a 15-year-old or a 16-year-old get their hands on a prescription within 72 hours so they can get Plan B and make sure they don't get pregnant?
Right, and especially in a society where we have so much guilt related to sex, a 15-year-old is most likely not going to her parents to say, I had sex and I got to get a pill within the next 24 hours, et cetera, et cetera. So what do you think?
Well, when I was young, my girlfriend and I did Plan C, which was horseback riding. So it's a little different, but you don't need a prescription for that.
No. Well, you do need some sort of license to get on a horse, don't you?
Do you?
Is there
No, you just show up and give the guy $5, I'm pretty sure.
That's pretty
Anyway, yeah, it sounds crazy that they would, somehow terminating a pregnancy before it starts is somehow worse than a teenager actually carrying a pregnancy to term. That doesn't make any sense to me, right? It's all backwards. I don't even know the judge had this kind of power to do this, though. The judge said, you got to start making this available to everyone. Like, can you do that as a judge?
It's those crazy activist judges.
Yeah.
That's what they always say, right? It's an activist judge.
So,
It's a common sense judge. It makes all the sense in the world. I'm glad that he made this ruling, and who knows if this is something that's actually going to be appealed or anything like that. Hopefully not. And
the idea is the conservatives are afraid that if this is available to teenagers, that they're going to have more sex because now they can get rid of their pregnancy, right?
They're going to have sex
because
no matter
that's like
what.
the coolest thing to do is get rid of a pregnancy, have an abortion, or take a pill.
Plan B, which is now do you know how that works? Plan B, isn't it a hormone that?
Yes. So if I'm not mistaken, what happens is it kind of stops you from ovulating. And let's say you're already ovulating, and that egg, the sperm goes into the egg, whatever. What's the correct term of saying that?
Fertilized?
Fertilized, thank
Yes.
you. I'm like, what the hell? Why am I forgetting this word? So the egg gets fertilized. It does something to the uterus so the egg cannot implant itself to the uterus.
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I think that's the reason why conservatives have an issue with that, because they see that fertilized egg as life.
Right.
Moment of conception.
Right.
So isn't this one of these things that should have nothing to do with government? Like, shouldn't this be completely separate from this discussion?
Yes.
What does the government have to do with this? But yet it automatically is in the discussion because that's the world we live in.
People like Rick Santorum live in our country, right?
Yeah.
And they think that, he even thinks that contraception is bad. It is wrong.
Yeah.
It's not right. Contraception, this is his own words. So we live in a country with religious crazies and we have to coexist somehow. And the way we do it is we have good judges tell them to shut the fuck up. That's how we do it.
Yeah, and we push for legalization of marijuana, which makes us a little more tolerant of them.
Yes.
I
I'm pushing for it, sure.
Yeah, but actually you hit on something that I want to talk about, which is this idea that the Republicans, the right wing, they seem to care more about the fetus than they do once this child is in the actual universe.
Yes.
Once it's out,
Yeah.
then suddenly how it's going to be paid for or any of that they don't really care about, but they care about it when it's up in here.
Let me jump in about this hypocritical aspect of Republicans. So they always say, like, we care about the baby, we care about the life, how could you get rid of the life? And then they want to cut the same government programs that would help the baby if he or she is born to a poor family, right? And a lot of times that's what happens with women who really, really don't want to have the baby, they want to get an abortion, it's because they know they don't have the financial stability to raise the child. And another very recent example was this representative in Arizona. She was testifying about abortion, and she actually shared her personal story where she had an abortion, and she's now getting death threats from pro-life people. Because that makes a lot of freaking sense, right? You're pro-life, but you're threatening to kill someone because of a decision that they made in their life years ago.
This has a little Westboro Baptist Church kind of theme to it. Bonobos.com is the official outfitter of the Rubin Report. Enter code TRR20 for 20% off your first purchase.